So here we go then. The Zwift Games 2025 have landed, and here's a quick recon of the stage. This is the Syco-list. Let's get on with it. So here we go then, stage 2 of the Zwift Games 2025 is the Scotland Splash, another sprint segment. It's 18.1 kilometres in length, 167 metres of elevation. Your power up for this race is going to be the draft boost, which is your only power up. Bike options and wheel selections don't matter as they're all neutralised for a fair and level playing field in here. This is one to be warmed up for though, because within the first kilometre you are going to take on the Clyde Kicker, which we're just about to turn on to shortly. As we make the right hand turn, you'll see the Clyde Kicker ahead of you. Stage 2 is going to be available to you between the 7th and 9th of March. We roll around the streets of Glasgow before we head out into the more punchy countryside and take on the break fast and crits course, where you need to be mindful of the surges in power as we take on the little inclines out in the countryside. So just finishing off the streets of Glasgow before we head out now to the countryside. Here it does get a bit more interesting. I'm expecting this race to be quite high tempo, quite fast, being a sprint race and being slightly shorter in distance at 18.1 kilometres. Out here in the countryside, there are some rises to be aware of. They do generally average out about 3 to 4%. They're not long or too taxing. Just need to be mindful of them because there are a few where you need to be a bit more punchier, get on the power and get through these segments to stay with the group that you're with. This could be quite an interesting part of the race out here, as there are a few rises which could split up your groups before we head back to Glasgow to loop round Glasgow, and then we eventually come back out here to the finish line. At 8.5 kilometres in, we head out here to the breakaway Bray Com. This could be quite an interesting part in the course where people might try and get in the way with a nice descent the other side before we head back to the Glasgow streets. So just being mindful of this one, know where it is. 9.5 kilometres in, you've got over the top of this one. You have the descent now to get a bit of recovery in before we head back to the Glasgow streets. So heading now back into the Glasgow streets, it does mean we are going to do that Clyde Kicker one more time. So just be mindful of that as it comes in, just as we take the right hand turn here. Get through this one, and then again, it's just a rolling streets through Glasgow. Once we've done a loop in here, we do head out to the countryside where we're going to be finishing this race at 18.1 kilometers. We've got 167 meters of elevation on this course. Most of that is nearly done. There's only sort of 30 meters left of elevation to do. So just bear with the wheels, stick in there, you're nearly done, and you can get a good result on this one if you use this time now in Glasgow wisely before you head out to that finishing sprint. So just under a kilometre now to go, we head up this slight incline and head out towards that finish line. When we get to the top of this one, it's going to be a short descent into the roundabout, and coming off of the roundabout, it'll be time for you to open up those sprinting legs and take yourself towards that sprint banner. So as we exit off the roundabout here, you can see the sprint banner ahead. Well, there you go then, a quick recon of the stage for Zwift Games 2025. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.